If you have a question, speak up because Melissa's counting gifts. I'm back here, so we may not see your hand, so do speak up. Okay. If you want to get a book so you can write on that.
Ready? One of them's obviously snug, the one on the bottom right, the one on the left. Is that just a first cell?
Yeah, it's a little
That
mushed.
should be a successful 5. Bring them up. How many should you do? 4.
And the side won't move on there. It's stuck to the stage.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the oil is coming from. Okay. So when we're doing our training, I'm going to have a checklist too, so I go through it in the same order. It doesn't hurt to go through it in the checklist order. Just keep it up. Here is our automated quick guide, which was written by somebody who doesn't really know how to run the analyzer, but that's okay. And on here, you'll see there's pages, and if you look here on our training guide, we have what page those are on. Okay. So our basic parts and function, the power switch, on off, is a button back there. Okay. The touchscreen operating panel, that's this right here. I'm going to wake it up because it's driving me nuts. Okay, if it's asleep when you come over here, if it says PU sleep, push the button. Just poke it. And wake up. Okay. The aspiration needle is right here. Okay. The start switch, that would be this blue right there. Okay. The SRV, and the SRV stands for the sample valve. And we're going to open this up. Okay. Shut up, you're fine. This is the SRV. Okay. This has got a bunch of holes in it, and it rotates back and forth to allow the blood to come up through here, and it allows a certain amount through so that it makes a dilution when it runs. Okay. If you pull back on this little plate right there, look down in there, and you can do a lot better than I can. You see the two little, like this little round thing, and then there's another little cup-looking thing down there.
Yeah.
Those are our diluting chambers. Okay. Then we have 2 printers on this thing. The first is the internal printer. We don't use it when the paper is expensive. What are you going to do with a little strip? And then this is what's known as our graphic printer. Okay. So when we're looking at it on the screen, it's going to tell us IP and GP. So this is our graphic printer. Okay. If it runs out of paper, let me know. We'll put more in it. Okay. We have 2 modes of operation on this particular analyzer. We have whole blood and we have a pre-dilute function. In this class, we will not be using the pre-dilute function. Okay. But if you started to notice you were having weird results and things looked funky, you might want to make sure that that doesn't say pre-dose. Just kidding. You might see that somebody accidentally pressed that. That has happened before. But we do not use the pre-dilute here. Okay. It's always important to know what reagents we have. We only have 2 on this analyzer. Okay. My brother that we have at the hospital is about 15. Okay. The first is our cell pack. And cell pack is simply a isotonic diluent. Okay. And it also uses it to flush things. Okay. So that's why we have a great big cube of that. Okay. The other reagent is our stromatolizer. Okay. And that's just our lysine reagent. Okay. So there's only 2 reagents on the entire analyzer, so you don't have to worry too much about that.
Okay.
Any questions so far? No. Okay. All right. I am going to have a maintenance chart that we will be using. Okay. I'm going to print it tonight when I go to work where I have the card stock.
Okay.
Okay. We have our maintenance that we have to do. We're going to quarterly, or basically every time I teach this class, as a class, we're going to clean the SRV, but I'm going to do that as a group.
Okay.
We're all going to do that together.
Okay.
But that SRV is this thing, and it does come apart. All of it is software driven. On a monthly basis, we have to clean the waste chamber and clean the transducer. So, in order to do that, and that is on page 10, I think, of the quick guide, which will be staying here. Okay. Anytime we want to go into any of our routines, this is our touch screen. Okay. Shutdown is at the end of the day, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay. QC means we're going to run QC. Ta-da. Okay. I'm going to handle most of this. Anytime you get lost, just go back to the top right-hand corner and push the button until you get back where you can find yourself.
Okay.
And if you get really lost, you scream for somebody to come on. Help, I'm lost. Okay. This is our main menu. This just simply pushes the paper through. Okay. If we have an error, there's a little guy gonna pop up here.
Okay.
The lady training us says he kind of looks like George Washington. So
Okay.
if you have problems, you push George and he'll help
Alright.
you out. This is our menu button. It's just a computer.
Mm-hmm.
This out and delete means that we're going to print something, either through our internal printer or through our graphic printer. Okay. Those other buttons do stuff, but we won't ever use them.
Okay.
Okay. Here's our menu. This is our data, so I can go back and look up a specimen that we've run before. Okay. This is to change the reagent, which we are not going to do. But if it does need to be done, you have to do it through the software. Okay? Because if you don't do it through the software, the computer doesn't know you did it.
Gotcha.
It'll sit there and say, I'm empty, I'm empty. You got 20 liters.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
still empty. Okay? When you go to change the reagent, you're going to barcode off the new reagent and tell it you got a new one.
Okay.
The analyzer will then run it through to make sure there's no air bubbles, prime out all of the old stuff, and make sure it's all primed with fresh new reagent.
Okay.
Maintenance, we're going to go there in just a minute. Don't touch. Calibration, don't touch. Leave it alone. Okay. If you do touch it, stop and call for me to get you out of it. Okay.
Okay.
Settings, there's nothing you're really going to do with settings. You can go in there, but it doesn't do a whole lot. QC chart, this one's important. This is going to be where we can go in and look at what our QC's been doing, which is nothing for the last few weeks because we haven't run any. Okay. Again, I want to get out of here, so I just hit that button. Okay. Back to my menu. We're going to do some maintenance. So it's always better when you're training to let the person do the hands-on
Okay.
and you talk them through it.
Okay.
So you're going to want to get some gloves on. And we can do some of the daily and weekly while the monthly is going.
Okay.
That's why we're starting with the monthly, because it takes. Alright, so push the maintenance button. And the first thing on our list is clean the waste chamber. So push that. Okay. Set cell clean to the sample probe. Cell clean is simply a 5% dilution of bleach, which we have to make up once a month. Okay. Which I need to do fresh soon. So all you're going to do is just stick that under there, push the button. It'll beep at you when it's ready. Take it out, put the lid back on.
Okay.
That was tough, right? Now, while this is doing its thing, okay, you never want to be standing up watching it. Okay. We're going to go down to the weekly maintenance, and we're going to clean the SRV train. Okay. That's our inside. Where was the SRV?
Right here.
So where do you think the SRV tray is?
That white thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. All you're going to do is pull it off.
Or is he or? Oh.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, take it, you
Oh,
take it off.
take it off.
You can remove it.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And it's pretty gooey.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go over under the water, rinse it off.
Dry it too.
Yeah. The number one thing about analyzers is they like to be clean, but not too clean.
Oh, okay.
What we're gonna do, I'm just gonna take an applicator stick, and the ones I have happen to be sterile. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Dip it in your Clorox, because if you notice, this is really gooey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean all that gooey off of there. And we don't want gooey buildup because then it gets into our analyzer and makes a mess. Alright? So you're going to take as many of these as you need. Get that clean, and at the end just wipe it with some water.
Okay.
Stem cells and any other cells that you can't, if it's the same, there's no distinguishable parts. You can't really see the intact cell membrane. You can't see granules, the nucleus. It's just a big purple smear. I probably not fit that
They need to be differentiated today.
There's some like, look up here, it's like orange. Is that okay? Or is that just stained?
No.
I need to come off.
I don't know.
Okay, let's think about our granule sites.
Just go do that.
It'll be alright. It'll come off when I clean the SRV.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, the point was it wasn't just discolored, it had gunkies. It actually had particles that you could see.
Right.
So you want to clean that off. So then you're just going to put the tray back on. Oh. You have to make sure that this notch goes on top of that and under that. It slides right in there. I can put it back on. Because unless you do it yourself, you're not going to.
How was it on before? Was it below it?
This way.
Oh yeah.
So it's not
Okay? No, it's still covered. So we cleaned our SRV tray.
Okay.
We're going to, on a daily basis, we're going to check our printer paper. Okay? I need to clean off this counter. So we need to check the printer paper. That's a very complicated process.
Oh yeah.
Got printer paper.
Okay.
Okay. This is a template. There's a box down there in the corner. Okay. You can see it has more of that on there. It's nothing fancy that the company does. I just print it out. That way it says for student use.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Alright, so we checked the printer paper. That was nice.
Okay.
We're going to check the pneumatic trap. Now, what is a pneumatic trap? This is a pneumatic trap.
Okay.
And if you forget, go to page 2. It's got a picture.
Oh,
See?
okay.
Okay. All you're going to look is make sure we don't have fluid built up in the bottom of that.
Okay.
Okay. This is where it moves things through it using pressure. And if it gets too moist, this will have some condensation in there.
Mm-hmm.
If it starts to build up too much, it won't be able to push things through. Okay. So as long as it's okay, you just check it. We're going to check the pressures, which we have to wait until it's not running. Okay. And then the background check is going to be done automatically when we get done. And then the shutdown we'll do at the end when we're all finished. Okay. We shut it down once a day. It flushes everything through, so there's no yuckies sitting there after we're going to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it also releases all, because right now there's pressure valves that got things pinched off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good to let that sit pinched all the time.
Right.
So at the end of the day, what it's going to do is it's going to release all those valves. It's going to kind of, put it in its jammies and let it be comfy. Okay, it's going to get rid of all that restricting stuff. But you do want to put it through shutdown once a day, not just to clean it, but also to release all those valves to kind of give it just a okay. Questions yet? Nope. We're going to go back into the cleanup room, and I'm going to show you. Is this done? Nope. We're going to go back into the cleanup room, and I'm going to show you where the controls are. Careful with the wire. Current XP controls. Okay. Now I'm going to see how current my XP controls are. No. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to have it. These need to sit out at least 10 minutes to warm up. You don't want to run them cold. Okay. We're just going to keep them in a little cup. I'm trying to keep them on the door. I hope that's where they stay.
Okay.
If you can't find them, and tell everybody else if they can't find them, just holler. I'll come help them scrounge them up. Seriously. Okay. From now on, just show them where to push the buttons. Don't clean the waste jar.
Okay.
It just takes
For the
too
monthly?
long. Yeah.
Okay.
You just push this button and let it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not showing. It's not showing anything. All right. The other piece of maintenance we're going to do is we're going to clean. These are going to be the cleanest transducers ever. Because it's actually maintenance is set up based on how many samples you run. So if you run it a lot, you're going to do it more frequently. If you don't run it a lot, you're going to do it less frequently. We don't run it almost at all. Okay. So what we're going to do is there's going to be a software we're going to get to here momentarily. This is clean the transducers. That's this, and then that little cup down there, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5% bleach. We're going to take a transfer pipe bag, and we're going to put the bleach into, when it tells us, into here. You want to make sure you don't overfill this. Okay, so you want to make sure it doesn't overflow. And the same, you have better, you're better than I am because you can see it. I have to stand on my tippy toes. And the same thing here, we don't want to overfill it. And then it's just going to sit for a while, and it's going to rinse it through. Running QC, we have to put in here the lot number and the values. That will be a supervisor's job or a lead tech job until it gets assigned to you. Okay? I'm not going to make you guys figure out how to do it. Basically, all you do is you go in there and you just type in a bazillion numbers.
Okay.
Because we can't get our barcode reader to read them. It's
Okay.
very frustrating. At work, we just barcode them and it just uploads it. Life is all happy. Here, I have to sit here and type in each and every
Oh.
single number for all three of those. So it's tedious, boring. And just, you could figure it out in 5 seconds.
Okay.
It's not worth showing you. You definitely do not clean the waste chamber. When we check the pressures, we want to do that daily. I have that written in on page 2 here. Okay. We're going to go menu, maintenance, status display, and basically nothing should be red.
Okay.
Okay. Shut up. You're fine. After each maintenance, it's going to do an auto rinse and it's going to do an automatic background check. Okay. If it doesn't do a background check, how do you think we do a background check? Come over, push the button, let it run nothing.
Okay.
It runs nothing. We want to make sure that our background check, no more than 0.3 whites, no more than 0.02 reds, 0.1 hemoglobin, and 10 platelets. Okay. We don't want the background check. When you're counting nothing, you shouldn't be counting nothing.
Right. Shouldn't be anything in there.
Shouldn't be anything in it. You don't have to remember those numbers. Just, they're
No, they're there.
No, they're there. Just show them where the buttons are. I didn't realize this one took this long. And all this is doing is taking that bleach and putting it back in the waste chamber and letting it sit, and it kind of flushes and squishes it up and down to make sure that nothing's growing in the waste chamber. Because if things grow in the waste chamber, it actually can start making its way back into your analyzer. And you don't want anything growing in here. Because this is doing electrical beams, which means it'll count stuff. So any stuff that's growing in there, it's going to serious. When you're training the employee colors to make sure that you tell them where to look for the reference material. The not applicable stuff isn't in here, which is what really shows me that the people who wrote this thing. And we have one page here. They wasted an entire picture on a bottle of distilled water, but they never show me in here where the SRV tray goes. But they don't have a picture of where they have a picture of how to squirt it with a water bottle, but no picture of where it is in the analyzer.
So you have to use distilled? Because I just use tap.
Tap is fine.
Okay.
We're just cleaning. And nothing from this ever goes. Now when I'm cleaning the SRV, I'm going to use distilled because it will eventually, it could conceivably go through there. This, we're just wiping it down. All right, finally. All right, so we're going to clean the transducers, so go to menu.
Maintenance?
And the pre-procedure takes about 7 minutes. Do this one, don't do that one.
Okay.
All you're going to do is you're going to take this and this. And you see, it'll tell you when the last time we did it. And we've only run 56 samples since we did it last time. So when you do your training, it's going to be like, we ran 4 samples.
So do I do it or do I have to wait?
No, go ahead and do
it's
it.
just saying it looks like so.
Yeah. So just pull that out.
I usually call
Does it matter which one you put in first?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Just don't overfill and you're fine.
How do you know if you overfill it? It goes
Goes
over the edge.
Was the only one
Yeah. Anything exciting in them?
No, they all work the same place.
Yeah. They're not.
Well, I hope they're not, because they weren't exactly the same numbers. But they all look like they could have been the same person.
Oh, in the refrigerator, Lorian brought me a bag that has some in it.
Okay. What? Or
It has both.
oh.
Yeah. The slides need counting. All that's going to do is just clean that aperture plate. It's
Okay.
not so much that we need to clean the whole thing. We're just wanting to clean the aperture itself.
Okay, so you don't need to fill it completely?
You don't need to fill it.
Oh, okay. Because I don't, okay. I was like, ooh, that's a lot.
The most important part is not to over.
Okay.
All right, and then what's it tell you to do?
Press the start switch.
There you go.
Okay.
And as you can hear, as it releases, it's taking that and going swishy, 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 swishy back and forth through it to kind of clean it out. Okay.
So these slides, Maureen, are they, if they're all, like you say, this is all the same one? Yeah. She's got the papers somewhere.
So for the daily, the background check, it did that by itself, right?
Mhm.
Does it do the pressures by itself too?
No, we're going to check
Okay.
the pressures, but we have to wait till it's not running
Gotcha.
to do that. Okay. When we run QC, we've got 3 levels. The number one thing, this is hematology, so we want to make sure you're going to be running this level today. I've got newly expired. Is that I got new old ones.
Yeah.
New old ones at the hospital that I'll bring in today. But that means tomorrow morning I'll have to all the ranges in.
Okay.
These expired last June. No, these just expired in May.
Oh, wow.
These are fairly new old ones. Okay. These are actually the controls we're supposed to use on this particular analyzer. But we have to buy those. We have multiple sources
Yeah.
to get these from. We almost always at the hospital have at least one set come left over because they send them in packages of 3 or 4 sets at a time. So we almost have at least a partial vial left over. And since it only takes a little tiny, tiny, tiny bit,
That's true.
so while you're waiting for something to do, you do want to stand here, holding these between your hands
Okay.
and inverting them. You want to make sure, see how there's goo still stuck on the bottom there? It's harder to see, but it's
Yeah.
definitely there. Until those are, you don't want to be nice and slow, just rotate them
Okay.
and invert them until everything is resuspended. You can't run them. If you run them without having them properly mixed, you mess up not only your run,
Everybody's.
but every run thereafter. And it gets just progressively worse. See, it doesn't take long. Is that thing done yet? That's why I said don't run the waste chamber. Just tell them what you do it. Any more one can do that.
So don't clean the waste chamber and don't do the monthly thing?
Well, the month, do the transducers. I want you to show them how to clean the transducers.
Okay.
But don't actually show them how to clean the waste chamber, but don't actually do it. Just back out of it before you actually start it.
Okay.
It takes too long.
Okay.
And the quarterly cleaning the SRV, we're going to do that together. Like I said, you got your lovely clip guide and it's got pictures, but they're not the pictures you need. Toss these guys. They expired last year. I'll use old, but that's. Except
This slide twice. The first time I got too many monos, the second time I got too many bands.
try one more time.
So both of those chambers are the transducers?
Those are both transducers. The one on the left is the white cell transducer. When this is running, the stromatolizer is going to go into that chamber along with a dilution of the sample. Okay? This is the red cell transducer. And so for that one, it's just going to go away. It's just going to dilute with cell pack and go directly in there to be counted in there.
And which one was the waste again?
The waste is actually inside.
Oh, okay.
It's actually in the back of this.
Okay.
We're not going to open up and get to that. That's
Okay.
so many things. This is designed for a doctor's office, so it's pretty sturdy,
Yeah.
pretty hardy. It's not going to give you a lot of problems. We can go ahead and close the door now that we've got that far. Oh, that's much faster. Yeah, do that. Don't do the clean. Showing me, push this button and then let it suck up some bleach. Don't do that. It runs really fast when you're not watching. The other thing you always want to do with your analyzer is when you get all done with it, you really should wipe it down just to keep it nice and tidy. I don't know who wrote all over this, but I'll have to get something and get that off of there, which I'll do later. I even, about once a month, usually once a semester, what I do is I even wipe down my vacuum cleaner, just wipe everything, because remember, it's counting particles, so if I've got a lot of dust build up, those are particles.
Yeah.
And I'm chatting just because things. It's always important to know this is our customer assistance. We unfortunately do not have a service contract with it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $15,000 a year.
Yeah.
We don't have for that. So we just wing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll answer simple questions for you without it. And when you get to the hospital, you're going to have a service contract of some sort. 24/7, 365, these things are open. This is our technical assistance line. This is where you would call and you'd say, okay, it broke, what do I do? And they're used to talking people, everything from people who really know what they're doing to people who, they say, open the cover, and you go, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're very good. They have little checklists that say this is your problem. Go through these things. Okay. All right. So we're going to run QC.
Okay.
All right. So we want to go to QC. All right. What do we got here? I have a lot number of 606 71101. I don't see that one on here at all.
Nope.
What do I have here? 514-60710.
Yep, first one.
All right, well, we're going to run those.
Okay.
I'm not holding out my choke. I have to put flowers in here. Of course, we didn't mix these. We're gonna use this one. We're just gonna go with the last four digits, 1101.
Okay.
Okay, so just look at the last four digits on this, and you're gonna run that. So go ahead and push it. Okay. Make sure it's well. Okay, wait a minute. We're on the wrong operator. So if we want to go back at the top, do we want to quit QC analysis? Say yes. Okay. You need to change your operator to you.
Enter again.
Mm-hmm. Now QC. just the last 4 digits. There you go.
Ice screws? Oh, they are.
Mhm.
Okay. And just put it in there and hit it?
Yeah, and make sure that and when you're teaching people, make sure that they know that this needs to go below the level of the blood.
Okay.
So, get that up. There you go. Push the button. Look at that one-handed operation. And when you take it out, and if you don't, it'll face you. As I said, I also frequently will wipe this thing down if it's starting to get funky. The biggest thing with any analyzer is keeping it clean inside and out. If you keep it clean, they like you. And you're going to go ahead and take the next one. Remix submit, have it ready to go. It should automatically print to the graphics printer. We have it set up to do that. What does it say? Error. Okay. To say okay. Basically, what it's telling you is the hemoglobin was out.
Okay.
Okay. There's our little George Washington. So if you push him,
Push it again?
8.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. And you're gonna go back, and we're just gonna take it for today.
Okay. Just hit okay then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. And it should auto print. Okay. Go ahead and run the next one. Again, just look at the last 4 digits.
2102.
The nice thing about QC on this analyzer, West Guard rules say that you have to have 2 of the 3 in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as long as 2 are in. Now, if it's level 1 and 2 for the whites and level 2 and 3 for the hemoglobin, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. But you have to have 2 of the 3 in to be able to use it.
Okay.
Here we're a little more frequent.
Okay.
Like I widened the ranges like a lot.
This is white blood cells.
So just click OK. And you have to look at George. George.
Oh, there it is. The question mark.
Yeah, now push him. Okay, just say that. And click OK. The things you are responsible for on training are the things that are on the checklist.
Okay.
If we wanted to print something out because it didn't print for some reason, all you would have to do is this up here where it says in out. You have to wait till it's
So this one's the hemoglobin again, so it
right.
wouldn't. be acceptable.
It would not be acceptable, so we'd have to troubleshoot. Well, these expired months ago,
Right.
and it's the wrong lot number of information, so I think we figured out what our problem is, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and take it for today.
Did the second one print yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did.
So, first thing tomorrow in lab. Which you're going to grab.
Give me a whole day to forget.
Oh, you want to pick it tomorrow?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's fine.
Oh, a whole day to forget the stuff. Okay. Pick a chip. Who you got?
I got me.
You got me. No, you can't train yourself. Try again.
You don't always get a nice,
CWP?
good layout, so start here.
Oh,
A good area.
You pulled
There's
two.
bigger
okay.
than you normally see,
Okay.
But as their cells
K&M's probably Katie.
Okay.
see
Katie, are you K&M?
Oh, yes, I am.
You are next up on the list. So first thing tomorrow during lab, she's going to snag you and train
Can I
you.
take notes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Can I
absolutely.
take pictures?
No.
There's pictures in the book.
Not,
Kind of.
not good ones,
Kind
yeah.
of.
Not the things you need, but yeah, they're bigger. Okay, so what we're going to do is have you take a pen and you have your checklist there. So you're going to have the trainee initial all the way down.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have the you're going to sign here. Whoever's being trained is going to sign here with the date. So go ahead and do that.
Yep, it does have grade rules, and that's what they do. They have
I know
like
what today is.
sorted purple grade rules sometimes.
12.
That aren't really
And so I sign here?
Mm-hmm. You sign there.
spice it up.
And then initial all of those that we went over those. You probably should have them initial them as we go through.
Or that.
It doesn't matter if you put
Wasn't
your,
really-
it won't hurt anything.
Wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, we most of the time we initial the top one, initial the bottom one, draw a line in between. So that's fine. Do what you want to do.
And then they don't match, but that's okay. We're good.
That's
The
fine.
chart.
Yeah, we're going to look at the chart here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so we're going to look at the chart. We're going to go menu. QC chart. And then this will get us up and down. Man, we don't have a lot of values in here. There we go. We actually can see some things, okay? So, but this is where you would go to see the chart. Towards the end of this this training process, we'll see a lot more because you guys will have actually done enough to take a look at them, okay? So,
So ours is, oops,
Yep.
ours is one and
Uh,
then this is the other one?
yep. Okay. All right. Now the things we need to do that we didn't do was check the pressure. I need the book because I don't remember. It took me about 20 minutes. I sat there pushing buttons. I said, okay, I need to write this down. All right, so we're going to go to menu, maintenance, and status display. And here are all of my pressures. Okay? You're just going to make sure nothing's red. And as long as nothing's red, life is happy. Back out of there and move on.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to have a chart out tomorrow. You're going to actually write down those numbers.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if it says not ready. It's just
It doesn't matter,
continuous.
yeah.
Okay.
When you're in that screen, it's not ready. It won't run
Gotcha.
anything when you're in that screen.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then the last thing is to print using the graphic printer. So if I wanted to print something, I'm going to go out, delete that one. And I just push the graphic printer. And that. I guess it wants us to run something first. can pretend this is a sample. That's our sample ID. Why
Okay.
not? But we just want it's how run that. And this is the same way, like if I went back into the file maintenance to find an old file, and I do sometimes when I'm doing, people will turn something in, and I've long since gotten rid of those printouts,
Right.
because I have enough piece of paper.
Right.
And so I will come back over here, I'll go back and find it.
How long does it usually keep it for?
It keeps 10,000 samples,
Oh,
so
okay.
after we've run 10,000 samples, if we ever run 10,000 samples, it'll start dropping off the oldest ones first. But yeah, okay, at the hospital, that's maybe a week.
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
sometime in my lifetime,
Yeah.
maybe your lifetime. Okay, so hit Out Delete, and then graphic printer. Seriously, what is your malfunction? Let's try it from the data. Let's print that one. Okay.
So you have to select it first.
So you'd go back into the data and print it. So when you're showing them the menu, just, because the touchscreen operating panel, you want to show them where the menu button is, and you want to show them what those different ones are there for. Okay. And it takes it a while to get to the other printer. Okay. Enter the patient ID. You know how to do that. We've already done that, correct? Okay. You obviously know how to enter your user ID. Make sure when you're talking about holding the specimen, and you can talk about this part when you're running QC, make sure that the level of the needle is below the level of the blood.
Okay.
We've had a couple people who've had that problem. Press the start switch, and the other thing is make sure they move it out before the thing attacks them.
Okay.
And that's all.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign as your trainer. If you need supplies or things and you don't know where they're at, just holler.
Okay.
That doesn't count against you.
Well, yeah, but one thing.
And then when you get done training her, you are going to sign down here. And I would like you to sign so I can at least read it. And then I will have you guys turn all of these in, and I will sign them.
Okay.
Questions? You've got a checklist. I gave you a lot more information than you're responsible for telling them.
Okay.
You're responsible for showing them what's on the checklist.
Okay.
If you want to do the daily first, that's fine. I don't care how you want to do it. I'm just going to do it.
Okay.
And make sure that you go over everything that's on the checklist so that when Miss Melissa or Jean, depending on who's available at the time,
Okay.
so whoever is my end, or if they're not available, you'll train me. And I will check off to make sure. So, but this is a class grade, so make sure that.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I will go put these away.
Okay.
Oh,
the
shut down.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to shut it down for the day. So this is really tough. Push shut down. Okay. And when we get all done, it'll say turn it off.
Okay.
And you'll push the off button.
Okay.
Overwhelming.
Did you have papers with the ones that Lorian brought you?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
But you want to know where those are,
They're
don't
not
you?
ready for these, first of all.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Did you look at them all?
I have not yet. But I let
I
you
don't-
look first.
I don't know if you'll actually even make them count them at all, or if they'll
Okay.
just be a look at them for appreciation.
Okay.
They're yucky.
They're yucky? Okay. Well, we're going to do some yucky ones together tomorrow, so maybe you guys can.
there's two things I have to document on there that are just in my head, and now I'm like, crap. You know what these are? But I had to move something. That one's not so bad, except for you can definitely tell there's like some treatment that's happening. There's some natural cells that are abnormally dying. So, I mean, that aside, there's a little bit out right there. Which is fine and good. These. So, I looked at like 3. Right. And those are awful. Like, those are just, I was like, is this blood? It kind of looks like it went somewhere else. Okay. I got toilet paper and paper towels. How's that for excitement?
There were some bands.
Right.
Dan, it says I'm good to show it off, so just going to show it off.
Yeah, just push the off button. And there you go. So tomorrow when lab starts, you grab Katie.
Okay, I think I got it.
And then Katie will grab us a chip and move on to the next person later in that.
Sounds good.
What's that there?